How's it going, guys? It's your boy JoJo's Whips back with another video. On today's video, I am going to be addressing my stock B5 S4 brakes, and I'm going to be upgrading to some 18Zs. You know, the stock S4 brakes are pretty good, but I think these will look a lot better behind the wheel. It'll fill the wheel up pretty nicely. So I ordered the brake pads and rotors from Project B5, and I pretty much had these redone from a company named Vision Auto Works, which they did a very fantastic job on as far as rebuilding the pistons and powder coating them. And then, so for the bolt side, it is an 18. It's 18 millimeter, and then on the nut side is a 13/16. These are for the caliper bolts. And then for the brake line, it is a 10 millimeter. So, you know, if it's on there, you guys get it. And then this is the 14 for the other end of the brake line that's on the chassis that you have to hold in place. And then you tighten the chassis side of the brake line into there. But the one thing I did notice, so since I bought this from Project B5, that you know, every time I've done Brembos and whatnot, and just you know, general just brakes, they usually, when you buy the pads, they usually come with the retaining clips and whatnot. But I looked through all my packaging and everything, and these did not come with them. So if you guys did buy brake pads and you don't want to reuse the, you know, your older crusty looking retaining clips and then the slide pin, you are gonna have to buy that yourself. So just a little heads up, you know, I had this whole kit all pieced together, and I thought it would have came with them, since, you know, like I said, I've done Brembos in the past and they always usually come with them, and these did not. But I'm gonna get the car in the lift now so we could start tearing out the small old brakes. But like I did say though, these brakes are honestly perfect. You know, I don't have any braking issues as it is now. I just kind of want to, you know, I'm kind of doing it, you know, because since I have so much stuff done to the car, I think it'll look a lot better. And it would fill that wheel in. And I actually do have a rear big brake kit as well, which I'll be doing a separate video on that. But first we're gonna get this done, and then I'll work on the rears. Right, I got my wheel off now. And I am slowly disconnecting everything and whatnot, so I can get the stock caliper off. I am gonna just hang it for now, because I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible, because I do not want to have much brake fluid leak out. You know, because I'm gonna have to bleed the system anyways, but you know, obviously I don't want it to go dry, which is why I pretty much have the lines already on the calipers, as you guys saw. But I'm gonna get these off, I'm gonna hang them, and then I'm gonna bring the new ones over, and then we will start getting that lined up. All right, so now I'm pretty much taking the brake shield off. All right, you guys see right there. And the brake shield bolts are a, what are they? T30. So it is a T30 Torx. So I am going to continue along going, and then I will show you guys whatever other tool sizes I need. For the caliper bolts, for the stock calipers, they were 18 as well. So just figure out, let you guys know that as well. All right, so I got it mocked up because I do know I am going to have to grind some stuff. And so as you can see right there, you have to grind that out. And then down here on the bottom, you have to grind that down as well. You know, pretty much right there. You can see, so I will grab my grinder and we'll start grinding it. And for those of you that have one of these cars, I 100% suggest to go to a stud conversion, because it makes everything so much easier. You know, because if I had the standard lug nut that this car usually takes, it would have been having to jiggle it all around. And I do know that there is this guide bolt here, but it doesn't really matter because this is the original style hub and it does not have one. But when I did my new hub on my other side, it does actually have one. So I 100%, and then even too anyways, like even if it did have it on the hub, even like putting the wheels on and off is a lot better, especially running this bigger brake, because then especially with how tight it's going to be with the wheel, you really want to have 100% of a slide on than, you know, holding it and trying to wiggle it around. So all right, so I got my grinding down. You really got to just stay on the top part. And you know, I was using like a different kind of grinder. I should have just used my other one, but I just wasn't in the mood to go find everything. But you just pretty much got to skim the top of there, and then down here your main focus is like this general area, but I just wanted to smooth it out all on one kind of thing. I'm gonna go over it though a little bit just to clean it up a little bit more, but I'll throw the rotor under there so you guys can see now the clearance that it has. Right, so I got the rotor on, and as you guys see, we've got plenty of space. It doesn't look like much, but let me see, I'm trying to get at an angle so you guys can tell. But remember, because the rotor does not move, and I am going to clean it up a little bit more, so you know it'll be quite a bit better. And then there's the bottom, plenty of space, no touch, no more touching. And the rotor right now is on there, nice and sturdy. Got my 2 nuts on there. So I'll continue now with the video. All right, so I actually just threw some POR 15 on there. You know, like I didn't want to use any rattle can in here because of all the overspray, and I didn't want to get it on the car and then on the other car that's in here. But I put some POR 15 on there, just brushed it on just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And I'm gonna get the rotor back on so that way we can get the caliper on as well. All right, so I just got the wheel on there just to test fit it, just to make sure. I knew it was gonna clear, but I just kind of wanted it for peace of mind that I know it would definitely clear, and it honestly looks really good. Plenty of clearance. You know, it does get a little bit close down there, but honestly, it fits perfectly. So I'm gonna pop the wheel back off, and then I'm gonna continue with running the lines. All right, I got the 18Zs on, and I do actually have the Brembo decal in black. I'm just gonna put it on when they're fully done, but it came out really good. I did struggle a bit getting this together. So this top nut is a 7/16, but I finally ended up getting it to thread. And then for this, I ended up just running some zip ties holding it down, since the bracket that typically holds it down is you can't use it anymore. And then I zip tied that just there, and then I ended up running some zip ties through here as well, so it pretty much just runs through there. The holes up here, just, and you could just run it straight through there just to get it nice and locked in. And I just turned it a few times back and forth. It honestly works perfectly. So now we will move on to the passenger side, and you know, pretty much it's going to be the same thing. And I actually noticed as well is that the wastegate is right there. So I was doing it originally from underneath the car, but I think from now on, anytime I've got to mess with those fittings, I'm just going to mess with them right here. Just pop the wheel off and I could just get right up in there. Or I could probably even just turn the wheel all the way over, and then I could just get in right behind the wheel, since, you know, I do have a lift. But it came out really good. Massive upgrade over the stock ones. And just like that, I got the passenger side done. I threw some paint on there. Pretty much the same exact thing you do on the other side. You just got to grind this area down, and then this lower area, you just got to grind it all down until you can see that rotor slide on there perfectly. And tighten it down too, if you can, just so you can see, and then just kind of clearance it out as much as possible. Because, you know, when you do torque the wheel down, it is going to suck in a little bit more. And but yeah, no, this one's honestly perfect now. So now I'm just going to get my rotor back on, get my caliper on, and then it's pretty much ready to go. I just got to wait then for my clips to come in, which for you guys will be here in a couple minutes, but for me it's going to be a couple of days till they come in. But yeah, let me get this side finished. All right, I got the passenger side all done now. It came out phenomenal. I'm not really too happy about running the zip ties, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes with these things, you got to do that. But yeah, now I'm just waiting on the retainer clips to come in for the brake pads, and then we can finish this video out, which I got my retaining clips in and whatnot for the brake pads for both sides. Came out real good. Threw the decals on there as well. So it goes with the silver and black theme of the car. I'm gonna get the car on the floor so that way we can see how everything looks. And if you guys are interested in doing the rear big brakes as well, I have a separate video on my channel for that. So you guys can watch that video as well, because it really looks good when you do both front and rear. You know, kind of levels it out versus doing this big, ginormous caliper and then just keeping that stock small one. But yeah, let's get this car on the floor. All right, I got the car back on the floor. It came out phenomenal. I really got to clean the car. It is pretty dirty. You guys can see all the brake dust on the wheels, which I'm sure it's going to get a little bit worse not having these Brembos. We'll go look at this side real quick as well. It's kind of tighter on this side. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is JoJo's Whips, and I'm out.